today's video, we're going to be checking out the recently released Audi R8 GT4 for RaceRoom by pitting it against its counterpart in my current go-to GT4 sim racing title, Assetto Corsa Competizione, in a head-to-head battle. Let's find out which title's got the best Audi GT4 by taking them both out on track. So I will see you at Brands Hatch after the intro. Okay then, so here we are in RaceRoom. We are at the full Brands Hatch layout, which is also new for RaceRoom, and we are in the cockpit of the Audi R8 LMS GT4. So let's get it out on track. Let's see what Sector 3 Studios have done. So, initial first impressions is, as always, we've got a great sound. You can hear that engine really want to rev. And you got that fantastic pop, spit and barble back through the exhaust. But having good sounds is something you've come to expect now with Sector 3 Studios and their cars for RaceRoom. Oh, it just does sound good. But sound is important. It creates that level of immersion. It helps draw you in. Makes this virtual world more believable. And again, graphics wise, what a job these guys are doing. This is a DirectX 9 title. It's been sort of knocking about now in various different forms for years. But I really enjoy the colour palette. It looks very pleasing to my eye. They've done a spot on job with the steering wheel inside the cockpit. Indistinguishable from the real thing. So how does it feel to drive? Well, GT4s are made for gentleman drivers. They're built to a lower spec and a lower cost. So they're the little brother of the GT3s, and you can tell when you push too hard, they have a tendency to want to understeer. They have a very basic traction control and especially ABS systems on. It's not to say they're not fun, but they are definitely safer to drive. Gets a little bit light there over that crest. As for this version in RaceRoom, it's the force feedback that I'm getting through my AccuForce direct drive wheel is a little bit uninspiring, feels a little bit flat almost. I'm just not feeling it. This car's not feeling as dynamic as it could be. It's nice to drive, but it's not great to drive, and I know GT4 cars can be more fun. I like it, and I have had great fun racing it, but for some reason I don't love it. This car in this sim, you know, hasn't quite connected. It looks fantastic, and as we all know, it sounds fantastic, and it handles correctly. You've got, you know, it's a safe car. It's a natural tendency to understeer, so you know it's been implemented and put into the sim really well, and as it should be. I just think there's something not quite right with the force feedback or the setup in its defaults thing. As much as I like it, and I do like it, and I've had great fun racing it, and I've had some good close race battles with the adaptive AI, I just don't quite love it. Okay, well, it's over to the other sim to see what that one can do. Welcome back, and now we're in Assetto Corsa Competizione in their version of the Audi GT4. Once again, we are at the Brands Hatch using the full layout. So let's get out on track and let's see what Kunos have done with their Audi GT4. So if we start off with visuals first, and you know, there's no denying that ACC is a beautiful looking sim racing title, but because it uses the Unreal Engine, it is a little bit of a resource hog. It will take all the CPU and GPU clock cycles you can throw at it. I've never been able to run this in its full glory. Compared with RaceRoom, you can just crank everything up, all the eye candy. Here, with my 1080 Ti, I have to be a little bit selective, but I can still get it looking clean, crisp and sharp. And I do particularly like their shadows and the way the light gets cast. Again, first class job, beautifully modelled interior, and it's especially the exterior. I think that's been really nicely done. What about sounds? Well, ACC is one of the better sim titles out there, but I just don't think it's got the rawness that RaceRoom have managed to capture. It's not quite so ear bleeding when you take the revs up high. It's all there, including all the ambient noises, you know, the bits of gravel and dust and dirt that gets flicked up underneath the car. But that engine doesn't quite scream, doesn't make your ears bleed at right at the tip of the rev limit. They're good, they're detailed and they're clean, but they just miss a little bit of something. Can't quite put my finger on it, but RaceRoom definitely sounds better. So we'll finish off then. What's the force feedback and the physics like? Well, I think this is where ACC comes into its own.
I didn't catch that.
Again, with my Accu4 stretch drive wheel, the force feedback is more detailed.
One sec.
It feels I'm getting a crisper, cleaner signal, which in turn makes the car feel more alive. Definitely feels like it's moving about a little bit more. It's still got the, predictable understeer, and they are still inherently safe to drive because they're GT4 cars. But there's something about the force feedback and the physics in ACC just allows this car to dance a little bit more. It moves about a little bit more when you use the curbs. It just feels a little bit more dynamic. Yeah. Whereas in RaceRoom, I really liked it but didn't love it. I think this is edging ever so closer to that more complete version of a GT4 car in a sim racing title. But as always, I shall take a moment to reflect on both sim titles, weigh up the pros and cons, what I liked, what I didn't like. Okay, it's time to find out which title has won this head-to-head battle. And it is Assetto Corsa Competizione. It was a close, hard-fought battle, but I think the way the force feedback felt in ACC made the Audi R8 GT4 feel more alive and more exciting to drive. And that's why, for me, it's the winner in today's head-to-head. Please, feel free to let me know in the comments how right or wrong I am. Also, while you're there, please consider hitting that like and subscribe buttons. It really helps me get this content out to as many fellow sim racers as possible. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye bye.